Oh, hello everybody, come and find me. I couldn't wait much longer, so I've jumped on 10 minutes early. And if that's going to confuse you, you just, like I always tell you, you just go to the featured tab, and all of my lives will be in there. So I couldn't wait any longer. I'm just chapping at the bit. I've been sitting making notes for you. I've got loads to talk to you about the night, so I don't know how long this is going to take, but as always it will be in featured and you can watch it back at a time that suits you. Driving to work is good, on your walks is good, live is good. That is the one thing about this programme, is the content that I deliver is live. And before I went on my holiday, we were well, I got through tons of education, but there's tons more still to talk about that we've never even touched on. So much. So find me. Do you know what I hope? I hope that you are involved in this. Can you all hear me okay? Mary, is my sound okay? So I just got back today, roughly 1 o'clock, 24 hours worth of travel, 3 flights. Got a good sleep on the flight coming back, the longer flight actually. So it was Diani to Wilson Airport, Wilson to, from Wilson we got a taxi, brilliant Mary, thank you. From Wilson we got a taxi to Nairobi, John or something. From there to Heathrow, from Heathrow to Edinburgh. The safari, oh my god. If you can go on a safari, maybe you've already been on one, but if you've not done it recently, I'll do it again for sure, maybe a couple of times again in my life, but oh my god, the people, the Maasai tribes people, unreal, unbelievable. Warmth, generosity, just care, compassion, empathy, understanding, they've got it all. And at the heart of it, they're farmers, and so you know what that does for me, that just ignites my mind. So we're on this jeep for 10 hours a day with this guy George, that was obviously his name to us, but one of the Maasai tribe, and so knowledgeable. And what we learned, Leo's, his retention for knowledge is, he knows so damn much. I mean, do you know what, I've known a lot about nature in my life, but I've forgotten a lot as well, and it's not until you hear Leo back you go, oh, shit, I used to know about that. I used to be a bird watcher, no jokes, but I really did. And I used to know every bird, what colour of eggs they laid, I can't even think of the facts now. What the speckles meant, what the colours meant, where they would sit in the trees, where they would make their nests. Just loads of stupid facts about birds, but I knew about them all. But Leo's like that as well, and I think that's got to be genetic. Like, how could we be so similar? And I've never talked that stuff to him. Anyway, it was just unbelievable. And did you see that? So, and I never showed you the full thing, but on our camp actually, the lions had caught a buffalo, and it was when we were on our way back to camp, and it would have been going the long way to see it and stuff. So we just said, look, we'll try and catch them in the morning. So we went out at 6 o'clock in the morning. By about 6:15 we got to the spot, and the lions were still there. They were finishing off this buffalo, and there was a pride of maybe 8, 9, 10 of them. And the hyenas are always about, trying to obviously scavenge and get the carcass when they're finished. So, but there was this one hyena, and it was beside the vans, like there was 3 vans set off at the same time. We got there first, so we had like prime position right in the middle of these lions, not in the middle, but where you could see them really clearly. And this hyena just lay. So one of the vans nearly actually like sort of hit it. I thought, just lay. And all of a sudden, one of the lions got really, really inquisitive, and it come over. And it was doing that because hyenas are really, really dangerous, aren't they? And the lion was like thinking, So then another one joined it. So they started like tapping it with the paws. So then a third and a fourth and a fifth. And so before long there was 10 hyenas, and it was jammed behind the wheel of this Jeep. And obviously the guy that was driving it thought, fuck, I've got people on here, I need to be careful. So he moved forward, but it exposed the hyena. And so what I seen, like, the hyena actually got away. It's like they didn't want to kill it, they wanted to chastise it and just like bully it. But it wouldn't have survived because of its injuries. But it jumped into the river. And they were all staring at it, and one of them stayed for a good 20 minutes. The rest of them went back to the carcass. Sorry, I'm going into this now. But one of them stayed, and it was just looking down. We couldn't see what was down the bank, like when it jumped in. And Leo's going, did it get out? He just feels it. And I says, Leo, I think it got out, son. And the guy, George, is like, no, it's definitely not. No, that'll die of its injuries. And Leo's like, he's looking at me, and his face is pasty white. I thought, oh no, George, come on. Buffer it for him a wee bit. But it's real life. You can't buffer real life. So the only thing we never seen is the rhinos. But yeah, absolutely amazing. And the place that we stayed, I went to a place further up the coast, didn't like it. That's why I moved to the new place, and it was absolutely stunning. So that's that. So I'm back, refreshed, energised, ready to go, ready to bring my best self to you. Now, we are now embarking. I have a handful of incredible women who have paid into the Ambassadors program, and they're ready to start training with me. Now that's going to start next week. I was thinking about starting it this week, but I'm not. So girls, I'll be in touch with you, if not tonight, tomorrow morning. And we're going to go through 4 weeks of pretty intense, full-on training. And those girls, I'm going to help them build a business. Now, they will promote the Feel Look Be brand and the concept, but there'll be spin-offs of that. They'll be able to consult, they'll be able to build, they'll be able to create new stuff. And it's really, I'm passionate about it. I'm so passionate about helping women build a business and actually take their life from here to here. You've seen me do it. I role model it all the time. I talk about role modelling all the time. It's very, very important to role model. And I do that. People get confused and think, oh, she's got that on Instagram. What a fucking bam she is. And no, Dafty. Tell them. No, she's actually shown what's possible as a single mum. She's not relying on anybody else. She's doing it off her own back. Her own skin in the game. So shut it, you. Right? Get them told. Get them told. But those of you that get it, just absolutely get it. You don't think that. You don't think I'm bragging, I'm being a big head or a bam or whatever it is. You just know that I'm role modelling that for you, because it's absolutely possible. And it's possible for all these women that are going to do this with me. So I'm mega excited about that. There's loads of amazing things coming up, as I alluded to before I went on the holidays. So tomorrow is head in the game. Planning, preparation, communications, like full steam ahead. So yeah, but tonight I wanted to tell you about loads of different things, and it's not that I've not told you before, but I'm telling you, I'm looking you straight in the eyes, and I'm not taking any shite, and I'm not giving you the easy way out, because it's not enough to know what. You now need to know why, which is why Feel Look Be and my brand is so successful, because I explain the why. I don't just tell you the what. I don't just stick a meal plan in your hand and go, there you are. I don't just show you a workout and go, there you are. I explain why, because I understand the why. I've researched it. I'm educated. That's what I am. That's who I am. If you cut me open, it's all of this stuff. It's years and years and years and years and years of compounded knowledge. But actually, you have to keep refreshing and refreshing and refreshing, because there's new stuff all the time. And no bugger is telling you this stuff. Your doctors aren't, your nurses aren't, your teachers aren't, your people aren't doing it. Your PTs have got no fucking clue about this. In fact, some PTs are on here I'm glad you are. I'm glad, because you're going to learn more from me than you ever will in a nutrition course. Jackie Semple just posted there. I just seen it before, Jackie. She was in the GP surgery, and the nurse is an advocate of the Feel Like Me formula, and she sings its praises. She's an advocate of it. But you're absolutely right, Jackie. It's education. That's why I bang the fucking drum all of the time and throw it down your throats and think, "Mon then, it's not enough to know how, you need to know why, and when you know why, learn and teach. Pass it on and role model. Stand up for yourself and role model. Stand up for yours and role model. Get it done. Never mind, oh, it's £89. I can't afford that. It's less than £3 a day. What? What do you mean you can't afford it? Of course you can. And if you can't, genuinely fight it, get it. But for most of you, that's bullshit and you know it. A pizza, a kebab, a Chinese takeaway, a night out, a new outfit. You're talking hundreds and hundreds of pounds. Taxes, the bevy, the fructose that I'm coming on to in 2 minutes. And I'm going to hit you straight between the eyes with this. And I'm going to leave you in this spin, in a wee tiz when you come off of this live. You're going to be thinking, fuck, she's definitely back. Oh, I'm back all right. So, Kerry Busfield's on. Kerry's still in Kenya. Kerry, good luck with the travelling tomorrow. We had a couple of delays, nothing major, but I'll tell you what. Diani Airport. Take tissues with you. It says to Leo, go and check the men's toilets for me, will you? Toilet paper in every men's toilet. Not a single fucking morsel in any of the women's. Say to the women, have you got the Wi-Fi password? No, Wi-Fi's broken. It's not. Pure cheek. So, yeah. But hey, actually, it's a man's world out there. And so you can't help the women but feel pissed off. When I'm standing there with my Gucci trainers on and my Rolex watch and my Baron, happy as Larry. Her wee boy's probably running about in bare feet. She's probably needing to slog her guts out for a few shillings a week. No wonder she's pissed off. So the whole thing's opened my eyes so much to how fucking spoilt and ruined we are, and how much crap and shit and wind and piss we talk. Oh, we can't go out for a run because it's raining. Oh fuck, well it's a drought in Africa and they don't even have water. So shut up, get your raincoat on and get right out there. Oh, I can't. Oh no, I feel, all the excuses that you've come up with. They're void, they're defunct. Get yourself out there for a few days and then you'll see what real life is. So I'm going to actually do more charity work. I really am. I can't abide it. It's pure ignorance. Hold on. I'm ignorant. Absolutely ignorant. And as much as I thought I wasn't, I don't like it. So, there we go. Right, here we go. Are you ready? We're taking no shit here. Mitochondrial dysfunction. You've got a belly. Big deal. It's what's going on inside that matters. Mitochondrial dysfunction is the root cause of most of the illnesses that we see today, including ADHD, bipolar, Alzheimer's, GI problems, gastro problems, anaphylaxis, anaphylactic shock, mood disorders, anxiety, depression, all of the stuff that you can't see, and it's all above the neck. all of the stuff that's going on in here. Mitochondrial dysfunction. And the one thing that all of these things have in common, in fact, I'm not finished yet, so I'll get to that in a minute. The second column, and there's 8 of them. I'll try and remember them off the top of my head, will I? Type 2 diabetes, PCOS, dyslipidemia, cardiovascular disease. Bear with me. Did I say type 2 diabetes? I did. Dementia. Many's that. Fatty liver, cancer, and hypertension, high blood pressure. Every single one of those, and that's the stuff generally below the neck, apart from dementia, all of them, bundle them up together, metabolic dysfunction caused by what? Fructose. The alcohol of the child. We never used to see type 2 diabetes, and we never used to see fatty liver unless you were an alcoholic. In the 50s, you never had those 2 diseases unless you were an alcoholic. But now children have got them, type 2 diabetes and fatty liver, the alcohol of the child, fructose, high fructose corn syrup, fructose that's in everything. The driver of chronic ill health and death, fructose, it's in everything. It's in every condiment practically that you can find, apart from olive oil. Please don't cook with olive oil. I've said this many, many times. You cannot cook with olive oil. At high temperatures, it's not good. It's great on salads. Don't cook with it. And of those 8 that I've just told you, there is no drug that can fix them. It only deals with the symptoms. It can't fix them. And there is no drug that can get to the mitochondria. That is the powerhouse of the cell. That is the cell that generates ATP, adenosine triphosphate, the fuel for life. Without it, you'll die. And what kills it off? You have an enzyme called AMPK. I won't go into the full name because I'll probably forget it. But AMPK, the enzyme, works with ATP, and what happens is, if I could draw this for you maybe remember this from biology. So ATP has got a base, and it's got a sugar, and that sugar is called ribose sugar. Hold on, this will be backwards, but it's just so you can see 1, 2, and 3 phosphates. Look, so there's the base here, the sugar, and the 3 phosphates, and these are bonds. And what produces the energy is when that bond breaks. So one of those bonds breaks, and that produces kinetic energy. And think of it like a spark, or think of it like a muscular contraction where the actin and myosin filaments can, slide over each other to contract your muscle. That's ATP. But when one of those phosphate bonds release that energy and it's broken, it then becomes ADP, adenosine diphosphate. So it's got 2 phosphates. And then when that one's broken, the second one, it becomes AMP, adenosine monophosphate. Don't worry about that too much. But all of that happens in the mitochondria. Now, if you've got mitochondrial dysfunction, and you're eating all of the stuff, and you're eating all of the fructose, fructose is the only substrate that will deplete your energy. It won't produce energy, it will deplete ATP. Are you with me? And it's in everything. Everything, practically. unless it's real food, like your meal plans. So if you suffer with mood problems, mood disorders, you don't know your arse from your elbow and you blame it on being hormonal, you blame it on your cycle, you're an absolute fucking nightmare for your partner at various times of the month. You're blaming it on your cycle. I need you to think more about this. Now, being an alcoholic and being a sugarholic is actually really quite similar because of the substrate alcohol and the substrate fructose has the same impact on the body. It causes fatty liver. But the thing that nobody seems to talk about when they talk about the science of this stuff is the addiction, is the addictive stuff. And it's, you can't just say to somebody, just stop drinking then. Well, you can, but realistically, just stop eating sugar then. It's very, very hard for some people. Some people are social drinkers, like me. I could pick a drink up and enjoy it, and I can get pissed, and I can have a great night. I could suffer for days, maybe even a binge actually, and then never touch it again for a year. Not even bat an eyelid. Some people can take it or leave it. They can go on a night out and drive. Don't need it. And some people are completely addicted to alcohol. And once they start it, they can't stop it. And it's exactly the same. It's exactly the same with sugar. So if you're one of these that dips in and out, oh, we'll do Feel It Be, oh, she's got an offer on, we'll do it again, just because it's cheap. We'll jump onto this because she's telling us that's where to go. You've got it wrong. You've got it so wrong for you, not for me. You've got it so wrong for you. You need consistency. You need structure. You need the education to back it up. You need the support to back it up. Hello? You need all of that, all of the different components to make your journey as it's not easy, easy is the wrong word, as seamless as possible, because there's going to be bumps in the road. You're going to come off plan, you're going to be on holiday, you will get pissed, but if you are a sugar addict, it will only take that fucking Häagen-Dazs for you to be back on it again, and that's it. It's a slippery slope away. And you convince yourself that you cannot afford £2.90 something a day, and it's not that, and you know that. So what you need to do is you need to dig deep, you need to go all in on lifestyle, and you need to find a structure that works for you. And if you cannot touch alcohol because you're an alcoholic, or you have been, you might not be able to touch sugar similarly because you're a sugarholic, or you have been. So you have to know your parameters, you have to know what you can do and what you can't do. And it's really, really important to make that distinction because it's real and it affects people. I've come off the beaten track now, hold on, where am I? I actually put a wee footnote here. I'm going to jump about a wee bit. You know, long COVID. It's not actually COVID that kills you, it's the immune response from having COVID that kills you. For those that have died, and there's three categories of people who have really been affected by COVID and maybe lost their lives, and it's people of colour, people who have had existing conditions, and the obese category. Those three population samples are the people that have been exposed to COVID the worst. But it's not COVID, it's the immune response. And the one thing that all three of those have in common, all three of those population samples have in common, is processed food. And underpinning all of it is fructose. Now there's themes right through this, there's going to be themes right through this chat. And I'm leaving you with no uncertain, what's it called? Fuck knows. circumstances, it's not even that. There's going to be no uncertainty by the time I finish this what the driver of death, ill health, mood disorders, health disorders, health disease, actually disease, epidemics, global epidemics, you're going to know what that is. And when you know better, you should be able to do better. You should be able to do better. Now, I realise I'm talking at you tonight, but I think I need to. Because I feel it. And I pick up on things, and I see things, and I think we need strong words again. It's not enough to train, it's not enough to do with 50 press-ups a day. That's bullshit. It is enough to control the controllables. I'm not saying stop sugar, like completely eradicate it, but you have to seriously minimise it. You do. Because sugar is glucose and fructose. There's a fructose element in that. Remember, your body will make glucose. You don't need to eat it. If you do, it's okay. You'll deal with it. But it's the fructose, the pure fresh orange juice, the apple juice, the high fructose corn syrup, the corn. Okay. So uric acid, you maybe heard me talk about uric acid, and that'll show up on your blood panel actually. Generally, just to cut to the chase, the worse your diet is, the more processed your diet is, the higher your uric acid levels will be. And your uric acid levels will be high if you have metabolic syndrome, which is a combination of different symptoms. I've covered it that many times. I'm not going to go into it. You know that. You should know that by now. Yourself. Like you've got 3 symptoms. 3 of the 5, you've got metabolic syndrome. I'm not even going to go into them because you should know that. And if you haven't heard that yet, there will be educations on this page. Please go back and watch them. Did you know cancer, which is one of the things that show up with mitochondrial dysfunction, the perfect substrate for cancer to thrive and grow is fructose? How scary is that? You need to research the Warburg effect. The Warburg effect. Please research it. If you've got cancer in your family, you know, obviously at all costs you want to avoid any ill health. Go and research that. Fructose is the root cause of so many evils that just rips through your body. But cancer thrives on fructose and actually makes tumours bigger. So, just to remind you, AMP kinase is the enzyme responsible for helping ATP cleave off one of the phosphates to produce that energy that you need for cell growth, for resynthesis, for muscle contraction, for loads of different things. Without ATP, you'll die. But what's happening is fructose is starving off or diminishing the AMP kinase, so the AMP kinase can't cleave off that phosphate bond, and so it's reducing energy. It's not giving you energy, it's reducing your energy, and that essentially makes or assists your mitochondrial dysfunction or death. And when your mitochondria are dysfunctional or they die, you will feel like shit. You will probably look like shit as well. You will feel like you've got no energy, you're lethargic, you've got weight gain because your energy is going down but your fat storage is going up. So the negative loop that you've got going on in terms of energy production and kinetic energy production is actually going into to drive fat storage, not energy production. So you feel this weight gain, your mobility will probably reduce because you're not moving much. In fact, the whole gluttony and sloth thing, you won't want to be active. You'll want to sit. And that'll force you. There's actually a thing called leptin in your brain. Now, leptin was actually discovered When was it discovered? 1994 or something. It wasn't that long ago. But leptin is the hunger hormone. And what happens in a normal situation, when I say normal, I mean a normal, like, adult, not obese, not... Hi! I'm just on a live, son. Oh, sorry. Okay. I'll be through in 10, okay? You okay? There was a leptin. Yeah, in a normal person, when you eat, the leptin, leptin tells you that you've had enough to eat. But actually, in the obese population, you can actually get what's called leptin resistance, where there's too much leptin, just much like insulin resistance. And your body, it staves off leptin. Because your body keeps producing it and says, look, I'm full now, but you're like, nah, you just keep eating. So that leptin is not doing its job to tell you that you're full. So you get leptin resistance. Your brain thinks you're being starved because that loop has been destroyed, and so you keep eating. So there's lots of different resistances in your body, but leptin resistance is one of them. How did I get onto that? I can't even remember. Yeah, so you eat more. I've got here. That's also, so when you get leptin resistance, you might not be obese, but because your ATP storage, because you're eating fructose, sorry, I'm rewinding a wee bit, because you're eating fructose, the ATP production goes down. Your body thinks, actually, I need to eat more to produce more energy. That's why you've got such a belly. That's why you constantly store fat. So you're not burning, you're actually in storage. So you think, well, I don't eat much. You hear this from quite a lot of people, I don't eat much. But you look at what they eat, and it's practically pure fructose. There's also a really strong correlation between the glycemic load of foods. So high glycemic load foods like rice and potatoes and pasta, they spike blood sugar so high. We know this because we've been through it so much over the years, but that's why they don't feature on your meal plan. And they won't, because they're literally mostly devoid of nutrients, but also the impact that they've got on blood sugar and this cycle, and allowing you to maintain an equilibrium or homeostasis, which is a steady state of blood sugar, is impossible. You can't. You're eating pastas and rices and potatoes, particularly when you're not doing much exercise either. And you get people that go, yeah, I've been on plan. Yeah, I've been on plan for 6 months, but my weight loss has slowed down. Oh, so what are you doing then? What physical activity are you doing? Well, I'm doing the 10,000 steps. What else? Nah, I'm not really doing anything. Well, there you are then. There's your answer. You need to move your arse. You need to shake that thing, get up off your arse, and let's do something. Let's make you sweat. Let's get you doing some squat. Just squat. Just fucking squat, will you? Let's do some sit-ups. Oh no, it's my back. No, my lordosis. No, well, no wonder you've got lordosis. Up, off your arse, out the door. Let's go. I'm making light of it here, but I really, really mean it. You can't sit about. We've got weight to lose. You need to move. You need to shake that ass, and you need to make it jiggle, because that jiggle effect will actually mobilise the fat that's round the hips, for example. The fat that's round the belly is not going anywhere unless it's got the jiggle factor. You do know that, don't you? Jiggle this stuff. Just fucking jiggle it. Bingo wings. Oh, I can't get rid of these bingo wings. Do you move? I do my walks. It's no enough. Your walks are na jiggling your triceps, pal. They're going to stay down there because you're not doing anything with them. Oh, I never thought of that. Yes, you fucking did. Yes, you did. You're at it. You thought of that many times. You just can't be bothered. Up, out the door. Move your arse. In fact, move your triceps as well while you're at it. You get my point. See what you do to me? Here's another interesting thing. They discovered the whole uric acid thing by testing on animals, rats in particular. But when they were given fructose to rats, the same thing happened. Uric acid went up, AMP kinase was disturbed. It couldn't do its job, and so ATP production went down. Same thing in rats, exactly the same thing. So they thought, we've done a double-blind placebo on this particular test I'm talking about, and then they actually took the taste away from fructose. And guess what? The rats were still addicted to fructose. So it had nothing to do with taste. It's what that fucking molecule does. The biochemistry changes that it causes is significant. Now it's been engineered. It's been engineered to do that by some seriously intelligent people that are destroying the health of the world. Because it's in fucking everything. And it's driving all of this ill health. And they're all coining it in. And they're funding some big research papers and publications in the back door. We'll give you a few million if you do a research paper to say that it's not fructose, it's not coke, it's not coke. It's got nothing to do with calories, by the way. It's the biochemistry. It's in the back door. It's been engineered to be that way. And we are the puppets for it. Don't be a puppet anymore. Vote with your feet, vote with your purse, and even better, vote with your brain. You deserve better than that, and so does your kids. You might not be able to stop sugar altogether, but when you know this stuff, you can definitely make better choices. You really can. Every single one of you. And I'm making light of the whole thing just so it's palatable, just so you can get a wee chuckle at it and it'll stick in your mind and you won't forget it. Because if I was just to just read all this to you, you'd be like, bored. What? It's really, really important. I've been talking to you for 45 minutes now and I'm still as passionate today as I was 4.5 years ago when this business started. In fact, more so. And I'll tell you why. Because I know you. I know what you wear, what you eat, how you feel when you feel amazing, how you feel when you feel fat and overweight and bloated and hormonal and you go on your holiday. I know how you feel. I know loads of you anyway. I've met a lot of you now. But I know you better than you know yourself. I'm passionate about helping you. I'm passionate about staying in your head and helping you every single day. But you have to want to help yourself. And if you're one of these that I've described, from alcoholics to sugarholics to type 2 diabetes to whatever, to somebody that suffers with erratic moods, bipolar, behavioural outbursts, that's maybe your children. If you're any of these, pay attention and please minimise the sugar. You have to. And if you're somebody that can't go near sugar because you'll just start on it again, then cold turkey is the way forward for you. But there's an addiction thing there. There definitely is. And you need support with that. And you've got buckets of support here. Day at a time. When you know this stuff, you'll become curious, you'll research, you'll think about loads of this stuff, and you've probably hopefully taken notes. And you'll think, yeah, okay, I'm going to sort this out now. I'm going to do something about this now. Is that fine? Turning the science into policy is the hard bit. That's what Jackie was talking about earlier. Turning the science into policy is the hard bit for the politicians, for the powers that be. And I'll tell you why, because there's too much fucking money involved. There's too many huge, massive corporations and conglomerates making a fucking boatload of cash. And a lot of the politicians' pockets have been lined also. Will whatever win the battle? I don't know. But I'm going to try. I'm here to change the world. I don't know about you. I'm here to change the world, I know that. One day at a time. One person at a time. One brain at a time. And hopefully you get curious and you become knowledgeable and you pass this stuff on. So there's a chain reaction. It's the only way. It's like Dana White. I shared it on my Instagram story. Please watch my Instagram stories. I do them for you. The film about child trafficking. He said to all his employees, if you want to go and see the film, you don't need to obviously, but if you want to, he's going to pay for it. I'm going to do the same for all Feel It Be employees too. But him and Mel Gibson are saying it's education, it's awareness. You have to be aware of the stuff before it changes. Of course you do. This is what this is. It's awareness. You think you're here for a workout? Fucking think again. You're not here for the yoga either. You're not here for anything other than education. Everything else is an add-on. Everything else adds to the experience. But it's education you're here for, because you're not getting it from any bugger. Nobody. Nowhere. And I know that. All we knew was it was calories and saturated fat. And that's the premise that we went on. Where did that get with? Now we know so much more. So much more. But what are we doing with it? What are you doing with it? Learn and teach. Here we go. It's great to be back. Woohoo! Yes. It's so good to be back. You know, the Instagram stories and keeps me going. I'm somebody that has to work. I need to work. And that was keeping me going. That felt like a bit of work, actually. And sometimes it was fucking work, just trying to get these videos. But, yeah. So, keep your eyes on the Instagram stories. They're there to motivate and inspire you and hopefully give you a wee chuckle as well at the same time. It's awfully serious stuff. So, might as well make light of it where we can and when we can. I honestly believe. Every day's for laughing. Thanks so much, everybody. You're amazing. You deserve the best. I strive every day to be the best I can for you and my people. But you're included in that. I will see you. I'm all lost on my days. See you tomorrow. I'll be live at some point. When you get in, just go to the featured tab and I'll be in there. Okay. See you later. Mwah.